With so many countries going from lockdown to reopening to lockdown, 2021 into 2022 is starting to feel like Groundhog Year. It's United States of Europe, making fun of the EU the American way, with me, Greg Shapiro, the American Netherlander, author of The American Netherlander, 25 Years of Expat Tales. I hear it's quite funny. Now, in the opening, I made a joke about Groundhog Year, although as we go from variant to variant, playing red light, green light, it's actually starting to feel more like a giant episode of Squid Game. Since the theme of 2021 has been going from COVID to COVID, I was considering naming this video, I Like to COVID. But first of all, I'd rather not get red flagged by YouTube every video. And second, someone named EroxHD already made this. COVID! Well done. And now, it's time to take a look back at the year 2021, starting with an artist's version of the year 2021 with a syringe injecting vaccine into a coronavirus. Not sure if that's how vaccines work, but hey, that's art. Meanwhile, here is a different artist's interpretation of the coronavirus, which I think is more accurate. Because here we are, coming up on 1 year since the EU started vaccinations, celebrating with t-shirts saying, I got vaccinated, but I still want some of you to stay away from me. With these lockdowns, they keep going around and around. Or, as the internet meme puts it, if they had just called it the stay-at-home challenge and posted it on Facebook, the virus would be gone by now. Meanwhile, the Belgian Prime Minister has introduced new lockdown rules. The Luxembourg Prime Minister can't announce anything because he came down with COVID. And here we are again with the new Dutch government, same as the old Dutch government, introducing their new COVID lockdown rules, same as the old COVID lockdown rules. But their public health chart now includes washing, distancing, testing, ventilation, and their means for enforcing these directives, which is, whatever. Now we're going back to signs saying maximum capacity, or in this case, max 1. And as someone scrawled in graffiti, Max 1, Lewis 2, which is a clever reference to Netherlands first. But speaking of Netherlands and driving, Dutch people do corona lockdowns like they do driving in France on a Black Saturday, in their Sleerhut caravans. You see, summer in the Netherlands and Vlaanderen is like a flooding drill. Everyone pretends like their country is finally underwater, so they pack up everything they own and drive south. And if everyone would just ease out of the traffic standstill, slow and steady, then traffic would flow. But no, all these Max Verstappen wannabes have to go 130, and then the next thing you know, it's another lockdown. In the Netherlands, the COVID press conference has become the #1 television show of the year, with new breakout stars, the sign language interpreters, who invented the sign language term for hamsteren, no hoarding. And finally, we get the proper pronunciation of the Dutch hard G sound. Netherlands businesses have had to adapt to COVID rules. KLM has introduced their new extra ventilation jumbo jet. At Dutch supermarkets, you can find signs that say, please use tongues to pick pastries. Worthy of the classic, pen is broken, please use finger. Churches have introduced baptism by squirt gun, not a joke, and now plastic surgeons say business is up partly because clients don't like how they look on Zoom. Perhaps Philips Healthcare can change its name to Phil Lips Healthcare. And as we enter 2022, don't forget to beware the COVIDiots. COVIDiot, defined as a stupid person who ignores COVID warnings in an effort to increase COVID infections. Are you seriously promoting going to a dance festival just one day after getting the Janssen vaccine? What a COVIDiot. Or people who describe themselves as anti-mask. People who go to anti-mask protests wearing masks. Or people who say the mask is what causes COVID. Why do you think they put that metal strip in the front? It's the antenna for the 5G. Meanwhile, the media is helping scientists the best way they can. When a scientist says, my findings are meaningless if taken out of context, the media says, scientist claims findings are meaningless. COVIDiots, the makers of Delta Omicron, is an anagram of media control. Or the people who write Barack Hussein Obama, 6 letters, 7 letters, 5 letters, which adds up to 18. Hence, COVID-19, open your eyes, and write graffiti like COVID, hey ox. And the guy who tweeted, What if, instead of a vaccine, we just were able to get exposed to a weak version of the virus that enabled us to build the antibodies we need to fight the real thing? Because I know more than the scientists.